Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
And you are going in Smackdown Live. Who needs Raw?
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw.
Oh, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. And you are tuned in to Going In Raw right now. How you doing?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
Yeah, welcome to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Also available wherever fine podcasts are available, including the iTunes, where if you smash that download or subscribe button, it helps us out a little bit. Why are you touching me?
Tag.
Stop.
The tag on your shirt was
tag on
sticking
my shirt
out.
was sticking out.
I was fixing that for you.
Speaking of shirts, you can get this shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/Going In Raw.
I feel like you're kind of doing a Young Bucks pose there.
Speaking of which, are you gonna come over today and watch? Are you gonna stay here? Are you gonna stay here tonight?
No.
And watch Wrestle Kingdom?
No, I like to sleep.
From the Tokyo Dome.
I'll watch it another time, but I like to sleep.
It's gonna start at 11:30. I'm not in my 20s anymore.
No.
I'm barely still in my 30s.
You were pounding the coffee earlier. I'm assuming in an attempt to stay up.
That doesn't really do much for me, to be honest with you.
No.
Wrestle Kingdom is on tonight, and we keep on getting questions on the Twitter if we're gonna do a Wrestle Kingdom video.
We could.
It
won't go up tomorrow.
No, I know that's the thing. It's not going to be timely at all because it's probably going to be a 5-hour long thing.
I don't know when I'm gonna have time to watch that before this weekend.
I'm not sure if I don't stay up tonight. I'm not sure I'll have time to do it tomorrow. I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
Can you do it in bits and pieces?
Yeah, I could probably do that, but then it's just a thing. Then it's just like then I have to do it. You know what I mean? I'm definitely first thing in the morning gonna check out Kenny Omega versus Okada. I'm definitely gonna do that. I'm really looking forward to that.
Then there's the Tanahashi Naito match. Yeah,
that's right. That's gonna be a barn burner.
Yeah,
that's gonna be amazing. I'm definitely gonna check out Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly for the Ring of Honor Championship, even though I know it's not gonna change hands.
Yeah,
because Adam Cole is signed with the WWE, so he's on his way out. Yeah, your big prediction about 27 immediately is gonna be good.
Chris Hero was more or less confirmed last year.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I'm just
set
saying
that one aside.
Adam Cole is definitely.
I don't think definitely is.
I need to borrow those those Battle of LA.
Yeah, I still need to finish watching those.
Yeah, I need to get that. Anyways, it's we're also on Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.
Is that a question?
Is it? Are we on a Patreon, Larson?
We
really?
are.
Again, we're gonna have comments. 5 minutes in, still not talking about shit. All these stupid shout outs. I had to delete one of them. I deleted one of those comments on our video that went up yesterday.
Oh,
yeah. They said 4:30. That's when I stopped talking about crap and Patreon shout outs. Look, man, this is our show.
Yeah.
This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about wrestling in a second.
Well, this whole time, off and on,
get to know you.
We've been talking about wrestling. We talked about Wrestle Kingdom. We talked about Battle of Los Angeles. That's wrestling.
Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah.
Talk about him a little bit.
Wrestling.
If other conversation sneaks into it,
so
be it. Name one reward tier on Patreon.
Try to mix it up. I've said 1, I've said 5, I've said 10, I've said 20, I've said 50. I'll just say 50 again.
50. You get a t-shirt. I've got a couple t-shirts to send out. I'm going to be doing that hopefully this week for the $50 patrons. And then we got some postcards also to send out.
Yes.
For the $10 patrons. And we had a really lively live stream earlier today.
We did.
For our Raw episode. That went up, well, you're watching this the day after. So, yeah. Anyways, Larson, let's just talk about SmackDown.
Another quality episode of SmackDown Live TV.
I have noticed a trend over the past couple days, especially, people giving me a lot of shit for having a Raw, what they perceive as a Raw bias.
You don't have a Raw bias, I don't think, because when SmackDown's good, you acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And when Raw is bad, you acknowledge it.
Yeah.
You don't make excuses for Raw when it's bad. What you do is in your estimation, this is your opinion, and you are welcome to have an opinion.
Yes.
That you think Raw still feels like the more important show.
Yes. It's why
That's not necessarily a bias.
Why do
That's
you-
just what you think.
The Undertaker, who just a matter of a month ago said that he is SmackDown Blue, is going to show up on Raw to announce that he's going to enter the Royal Rumble. He's not doing that on SmackDown. He's doing that on Raw.
Let me ask you this: if SmackDown hadn't beaten Raw on the ratings, do you think the Undertaker would have done it still on Raw?
Yeah. Oh, I think that was no matter what.
I read somewhere too that Raw's going against the college football national championship game on Monday, so they want to bring in everybody to get the ratings as high as they can. Hence HBK and the Undertaker.
Just tap out. You're going against the college football game.
I know.
Why are you blowing your load
Just
on,
more or less,
an episode
more
that
or less,
nobody's going to watch?
more or less, take the week off.
Take the week off. If something big is opposing you, take the week off.
Do a clip show. Give everybody the day off.
Clip show.
Yeah.
I would love a clip show. Are you kidding me? A retrospective for the past 30, 40 years, however long Raw's been on?
1,200 and whatever episodes.
Yeah, exactly. I'd watch that shit. No, I don't have a Raw, but I do. Like, it's obvious that it's the more important show. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. SmackDown is a consistently more entertaining
Raw
show.
is the show for moments. SmackDown is a show for, I guess you'd say, story, I guess.
Right, exactly. I think What Culture said that.
Oh, okay.
I heard that. I heard it put like that from somebody on Twitter who said that's what Culture said.
Oh, okay.
And they said Raw is the thing for moments. It's almost exactly the same way. Raw is what place for moments.
Maybe I read it and then subconsciously retained it.
That could be. I think we read it on the air. Anyways, I agree with that sentiment. And I like big moments. Like, look at their women's division. It's so much better than the women's division on SmackDown. But that's not to say I thought that SmackDown was on fire tonight. Like that first, okay, you get that first segment with Miz versus Ziggler.
No, Ziggler didn't come out that whole time.
What did I say? Miz, I know.
Ambrose.
Miz and Ziggler were fighting for
Forever.
so long. That's how it comes out. Miz came out,
yeah,
cut a promo, New Year's resolutions, talks about his belt or whatever.
Well, he says he wants to be more forgiving.
And he says something about Renee Young doing dirty deeds with Dean Ambrose, which, by the way, that's the name of the porno that I was going to make with WWE Superstars.
Does that further confirm that some low-level writer is in fact watching the show?
But the fact that DDP, who just was entered into the Going in Raw Hall of Fame, it was leaked that he's going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Now, if Vader and CM Punk go in this year,
How CM Punk? If CM Punk is the
and
headliner,
Bruiser Brody, yeah.
If CM Punk is the headliner, okay, so there's no way that's going to happen. But there's a possibility that Vader's going to go in.
Yes.
Well, obviously now DDP's going in.
There's a possibility that Bruiser Brody.
There's always a possibility Bruiser Brody. I think that's the key. If Bruiser Brody goes in, then somebody's watching this damn show looking for ideas.
Okay.
Somebody is, man. I'm telling you.
Watch, next year we'll do our Hall of Fame class, and it'll like Scott Steiner will be the headliner, and then soon enough WWE will announce Scott Steiner as WWE Hall of Famer. That's probably never going to happen.
I'm telling you, they're gonna make up. They're gonna do it. That'd be great. Could you imagine Scott Steiner's speech? That'd be great. That'd be amazing.
I wonder if he's mellowed out now that he's been managing a show news in Ackworth, Georgia.
If you put a microphone and a camera in front of his face, I would doubt it.
Yeah, probably.
I think he probably has wrestling mode, and he probably has Shoney's manager, owner, and manager.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Like you saw, our friendo went there, took a picture with him. Didn't look like there was any sudden violent movements. He tweeted at us after the fact, so he made it out alive.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, but then get a microphone. Vince McMahon, you bastard. You piece of shit. I'm going to screw your wife. How many women were you screwing?
Wow.
I guarantee you.
Yeah.
That's what it would be. Triple H, you piece of shit. Couldn't lace my boots. You fat bastard. Bring Samoa Joe out here, you fat bastard. NXT, what the hell is that? It's a load of crap. Bunch of people couldn't shine my boots.
Oh, man. So anyways, Ambrose.
Knuckle, whatever you say it is.
Miz demands an apology from Renee Young.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about SmackDown.
Yeah, let's get back on track for a little
He
bit.
says, how can Renee Young have sex with Dean Ambrose on a regular basis?
He says something about Renee Young lacking journalistic integrity.
Yeah.
And so Ambrose comes out.
He said, Renee Young, pre-cum, yay or nay?
Is that the new thing?
I don't know, man. Is that the new thing?
Ambrose comes out.
Yeah.
Miz gets out of the ring, and Maurice
stands tall.
Stands between the Miz and Ambrose.
Yeah.
Slaps Ambrose.
Yeah.
and the Miz kind of sneaks away.
Mm-hmm. Maurice gets out of the ring, and then Dean Ambrose gets on the mic and says, Miz, something like, I'm good tonight because Maurice hits a lot harder than you or some shit like that. And so that sets up their main event. Main event. For Intercontinental title. That's my moral right now.
I know.
Yeah, I still love the fact, keep on going back to the fact that they won't let his name in the game because it's got anal in it. Anal, I like to. Then we had Baron. This was great.
Yes.
This was great. Now, for that opening promo, no fat.
Yeah.
This is the thing about SmackDown.
They have to keep things lean.
There's no fat, and that's what I love about it. That's why it's great.
There's not that third hour where you get lost.
You literally get lost.
You don't have the opportunity because there's not a third hour there.
Shit's always happening.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin had a really good match against Dolph Ziggler.
We've seen these two wrestle, seems like a dozen times at least.
A million times.
And this is probably the best match they put on.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin has improved so much even just the last 3 months.
Across the board, all attributes have gone up with Baron Corbin.
Yes, he's leveling up.
Absolutely. Every time he shows up, it's like, oh, cool, Baron Corbin. That's cool. I like Baron Corbin now. For real.
For a guy his size, he moves really well. He can keep up with wrestlers like Dolph, like Kalisto.
Well, him and Kalisto had some good matches.
Yeah, that work a really fast pace, and he can keep up.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to work kind of the slower, more plodding pace.
Right.
Some other wrestlers his size are forced to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So he puts on really decent matches.
So he delivered an end of days to Dolph Ziggler after Dolph was really, Dolph hit Dolph unloaded his entire arsenal on Baron Corbin.
There's Famouser, there was a zigzag. Mm-hmm. No, did he hit a super kick?
I don't know if he ever actually hit the super kick.
Mm-mm.
I don't know about that. No. I know he attempted a couple, and so that was the one, because they booked that really strong with him.
They do.
They need to keep that strong with him. Baron Corbin ended up getting with the end of days, pinned Dolph 1, 2, 3. Kalisto comes running down with a chair to now was Baron beating up on Dolph at this point? Okay, he was. Okay. Well, Kalisto comes down to try to help out Dolph Ziggler, and he sort of fends him off with a chair.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dolph Ziggler gives a big fat super kick.
Yeah.
Loads up that super kick.
And then was yelling at Kalisto saying, says, I don't need anybody. I don't need anybody.
Right. And we get, then after that, we got Carmella and Ellsworth in a really cringy backstage segment.
Yeah.
Ellsworth was trying to do something comical, clumsy, but it just came off as really cringy.
And really rehearsed.
Because very rehearsed. Yeah, he was trying to put words together, but getting them in the wrong order. Mm-hmm. And it didn't feel natural.
No.
Yeah, don't do that again.
No.
But anyways, he took off his shirt and gave Carmella his sweaty ass James Ellsworth shirt, exposing his breasts in the process. James Ellsworth pre-cum urinary. And Carmella was like, "Well, accompany me to the ring." And he said, "Okay."
He said, "Yeah."
He had a medium boner.
Yeah,
going on there. We all did. Then we had this was great.
Angry Dolph.
This was my favorite. This was so great because then it cuts to the locker room and Apollo Crews, Rhino, and Mojo Rawley were talking about God knows what.
Yeah.
This would have been great if it opened up with Mojo talking excitedly
about his New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Right. And that picture that he threw up with a million, 8 relatively attractive women, all in really skimpy dresses.
Yeah.
And Mojo just dove into a lake of naked bodies on New Year's Eve moments after that picture was taken.
On the rooftop they were on, right?
On the rooftop,
yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so I was really hoping that Apollo Crews, in my opinion, in this conversation, remember that scene in the 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yeah.
When all the guys are sitting around the poker table and they're all talking about boobs? And Steve Carell has no idea what they feel. He's like, yeah, they're like sand. I wanted Apollo Crews to be that guy. He's like, yeah, dog, you know what it's like. And then Apollo Crews is like, yeah, I do know what it's like. There's a hole. And then it's like there's a couple of holes, and they're like, you don't know what you're talking about, do you, Apollo Crews? And like, I don't know what a woman looks like naked. And but that wasn't what happened. They were just milling about, acting like they were talking.
But Dolph comes in the locker room and starts very carefully tearing things apart.
Exactly. He was so matter of fact. He would just he sauntered. I've never seen somebody be able to tear up a locker room while sauntering.
In such a controlled fashion.
He was just sauntering through his rage. Like, he just would pick something up, throw it. Pick something up, throw it. It wasn't like, fuck this.
There was zero abandon to anything he was doing. He was very conscientious about A, not breaking anything, and B, not hurting anybody.
It was respectful abandon, not reckless abandon.
Yes.
So anyways, Apollo Crews said, why are you doing that? I don't get why are you doing that? And Dolph Ziggler just lays in and starts beating him up. The guys pull him off. Somebody else on Twitter, I thought I heard somebody say fuck. Somebody on Twitter said that it was at Real Going In, or else live tweet from, said that he thought it was Apollo Crews dropping the F-bomb. Dropping the F-bomb again. You need to watch your language. It's live, man. It's live. You can't say fuck on live TV anymore. Man, this isn't the 50s. This isn't the pre-code era. Anyways, Apollo Crews says fuck. So
we have an edgy Dolph, it seems like now.
This is a heel Dolph.
Yeah, kind of.
This is heel Dolph. Which I love. They need that. They need that.
Yeah, I agree. It's good for Dolph. He's been doing the babyface thing for 3 years.
The great thing is the crowd's reaction to him blasting Kalisto.
Yes.
They were so into it.
Super into it.
They were very.
Everybody's been waiting for Dolph to go heel.
Exactly. It would be that reaction times like 1,000 if Roman Reigns went heel on somebody. It would be amazing. Then we had Becky Lynch taking on La Luchadora.
Hey, you remember last week, La Luchadora got involved in Becky's match against Alexa Bliss.
Now, La Luchadora was originally Becky Lynch's alter ego. Correct. Yeah, Lucha alter ego. And
so when Becky Lynch saw La Luchadora, she was like, WTF. That was me last week.
Look at this tweet. Tomorrow's 2-hour NXT special features exclusive footage from NXT Melbourne.
Oh, we get the entire steel cage match. Why don't they just do that the first time?
We gotta recap that shit now?
We have to recap the steel cage match.
Can we just recap Wrestle Kingdom?
Well, we have to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather watch 5 hours of Wrestle Kingdom than a 2-hour house show of NXT.
Well,
if I'm not there live.
I probably would too.
Yeah, anyways.
But 5 hours is a pretty significant time.
Pretty long time.
So anyways.
Yeah.
La Luchadora, I think, goes under the ring, and on the other side of the ring, another La Luchadora comes out.
This one is obviously Alexa Bliss. Yeah.
So La Luchadora, Alexa Bliss, goes for a finisher off the top rope, misses. Becky gets the disarmor.
Then demasks her.
Yeah, and it's for sure Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, but then other La Luchadora comes out
from under the ring.
La Luchadora, what is Segundo? I think I mean second. Segundo comes out.
Or would it be Dos?
Primero, well, Dos is 2. Segundo is second.
Okay.
So, yeah, La Luchadora Dos.
Yeah.
Because that's how they do it over there. They have the 1s and 2s and stuff. So La Luchadora, that would probably be Uno because Alexa Bliss.
Oh, correct.
Dos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She comes out and attacks Becky Lynch to the point of death, I would assume. I don't know.
I don't think it's quite that bad.
Oh, okay, so she's still alive. Becky Lynch is still alive.
Yes.
Okay. So who is the other La Luchadora?
I don't know.
Somebody said Aaliyah because Aaliyah came out afterwards. I don't think it's Aaliyah, though.
Aaliyah was in a match.
Yeah, exactly. She was in a match later, too. But she was there.
Yeah, but it didn't look like Aaliyah.
I don't think it was Aaliyah at all. I honestly think that it's somebody that we haven't seen before. I think it's somebody that we're not going to... It's going to be somebody that's revealed to probably be Mickie James, I would think. But it's not Mickie James right now. So I think that's the situation.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. Let's see here. Then we had... This was great.
This was fantastic.
This was amazing.
AJ Styles was on fire.
AJ Styles was fantastic. Basically calling out John Cena. Now, John Cena on Talking Smack last week said that he retracts his statements about The Rock, saying you're a part-timer and you went to Hollywood to do this.
Essentially, that The Rock gave up on WWE and walked away.
Exactly. AJ Styles said, you weren't wrong, Cena. You were right back then, and that's what you become, John Cena. And calling him a part-timer and saying that it's not his time anymore. And John Cena seems to be very into this notion of his time is still here.
Well, now.
It's still now.
His time is still now.
It is still now.
Daniel Bryan had a good exchange with AJ as well.
Yeah, because AJ was saying, You and me are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
We're both indie guys. We've been in high schools, and this guy's not. He's not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the end of that segment, Cena kind of did his usual thing, talking about, you can't lace up my boots. I work harder than anybody. You have to be here. I want to be here. That kind of stuff.
He had the crowd like furiously in his favor.
Yeah.
Like big time. And he can do that. That Cena's
Yes.
amazing. He
Yes.
it's like when you're in that arena with him, like he knows you. He knows you intimately. And it's like, man, yeah, I'm all behind him. I'm furiously behind AJ Styles though.
Yeah, me too.
Because in the same manner that everybody was behind The Rock when he came back simply because it was The Rock, even though everything Cena, that's the thing that bugged me about that rivalry, is that I was totally behind, like, you gotta let yourself into the story. You gotta open yourself up to the story and buy into it. And everything that Cena was blasting The Rock for during their rivalry to the first WrestleMania match, I was on board with. I'm like, yeah, Rock, fuck you. You've been gone. And then you just come in, mill about as you see fit. And all these people just cheer you because you're The Rock and you're a giant star. I'm like, no, I want the people who are here.
Yes.
And so I was firmly in Cena's corner during that first thing. And in the same respect, I'm firmly in AJ Styles' corner. Cena was blasting him, saying that you come down the ramp because you have to. No, he doesn't. He can't. He could have been fine in New Japan. He could have been the biggest star ever.
He goes down that ramp because he wants to.
Because he loves it.
Because he loves it. He has passion too.
He's our friend.
He is.
But anyways, Cena was on fire. AJ was on fire. They're both on fire.
Great segment.
Called him a biatch. He said, you're a punk biatch. And he said, I'm going to beat you up and take your title away from you, which he probably will at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's pretty much a certainty, I think, at this juncture.
Exactly.
And then who comes out, Steve?
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin these days is always inserting himself into the main event picture.
It's a breath of fresh air, man.
I'm
telling you.
So he comes in and says, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble, and I'm going to take the belt off of whichever one of you has it at Mania.
In his best George McFly.
Yep.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. So, Baron Corbin, like you said, always inserting himself in the main event scene. This is going to lead to a match. They're going to have a match next week.
Yeah, Corbin and Cena, yeah.
Right. So, after the dust settles on, let's say Cena wins at the Rumble, seems very likely.
Yes.
Goes on to fight Taker at Mania.
Yes.
Number one, does Taker win that? Does Taker have one last short run like to SummerSlam?
Maybe.
With the title?
I mean, he said that his legacy won't be defined by WrestleMania.
Right.
And then he hasn't shown up again.
We don't have a lot of time left.
No.
So when the dust settles on whatever all that is.
Oh, sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. I had a thought. This occurred to me when there was the rumors, and granted it hasn't been confirmed, the talk of WrestleMania being in New Orleans next year.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking too much about this probably because the Undertaker's streak ended in New Orleans, WrestleMania 30.
Oh, okay.
So what if he's around for another year?
There you go.
Like they have Undertaker.
Well,
I don't know why I keep doing that. I did that in another episode we did. Undertaker Cena won this year. Undertaker wins, and they do it again next year
There you go.
in New Orleans, and it's Undertaker's retirement match. That's the retirement match.
My legacy is losing in humidity. Yeah. We're going to go to New Orleans. That should be fun.
Yeah, I've never been to New Orleans.
8 hours from there to Shoney's in Ackworth, Georgia.
It's too far, man.
Too far. When are they going to get one that's like in Ackworth? I want a Mania in Ackworth,
Well, I mean,
Georgia.
if they had WrestleMania in Atlanta, maybe I think the Atlanta Falcons are building a new football stadium, or they're trying to.
Perfect.
So when that happens, I'm sure they'll have WrestleMania there.
Shoney's in Ackworth, and then we're going to go. We're going to vlog the entire thing.
Yeah. Maybe
So
we can do an interview with Scott Steiner.
my original line of thought was when
sorry.
all this dust settles, let's say mid 2017. Baron Corbin has to. Is it possible for Baron Corbin to get a run with the title in
I don't know if
2017?
he'll have a run, but he might be in a program with the champion.
Man, I don't know, dude. I think by then, look at how much, they like to fast track shit. Look at how much rub he's getting
I know.
these days, this early in the main event scene.
And the level at which he's improved over the last 2-3 months.
I think it's entirely
Been pretty
likely
impressive.
that
Yes,
sometime during
possible.
2017,
It depends.
the world
It
title.
depends who the champion is.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Because, say, Bray gets the belt.
He could beat The Miz for it.
Okay.
He could beat The Miz for it.
Yeah, he could. But if Bray has the belt,
Could you imagine if Bray has the belt and Baron Corbin has like a sort of kind of a tweener face turn, he could totally beat anybody for that title.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
yeah,
Anyway.
potentially.
I think he's gonna have 2017. This is a ways off.
You know, I said Baron was going to be the Intercontinental Champion at the end of 2017. That was my prediction.
I think it might be world title. It's a year off.
I know.
It's a long ways away. Can I change my prediction of
No.
Baron Corbin at this point?
No.
I'm all in on that guy, man. He needs more merch. Maurice and Renee Young were backstage.
Maurice comes up to Renee Young and just slaps the shit out of her.
So do you remember when
Wow.
Andrade Cien Almas
Yes.
chopped?
Yes.
This was like
Thunderous like that,
This
yeah.
was like, oh my God, that was
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
That was
it was
too
loud
real.
and seemed very stiff.
Yeah. Renee
And
Young,
then
yeah.
Maurice said, that's for slapping my husband or
You
something
don't
like that.
ever slap my husband. Something like that. Anyways, that was a mean chop to the face.
Yeah, it was.
Then we had Carmella with James Ellsworth. Carmella was sporting a modified version of his ugly shirt. Mm-hmm. And they were taking on Aaliyah, who came up from NXT.
Making her main roster debut.
Making her main roster debut. Still has a lot of developmenting to do.
Yeah.
Developing to
but
do.
she did well for
She did
herself.
fine. She did fine.
James Ellsworth cost her the match.
Yeah.
Held on to her foot while she's trying to do a move off the second rope.
Heel Ellsworth being influenced by the lovely Carmella under the spell of the Poonie. That's what's happening right now.
Yes.
He's like, I'll do anything for you. It's so gross. He's so disgusting. And then we have Breezy.
I hesitate to even call this a match
let me ask you
next.
something. Some people are offended by the term. We've got to the people. Some people are offended by the term friend zoned because they're like, what is it? It was something has to do with like, it's bad if a girl says no to your sexual advances and only wants you to be a friend. Like, that's offensive. I know it's ridiculous these days, but in 5 years it's gonna be like, oh, you said friend zone. James Ellsworth is firmly in friend zone territory. He's being manipulated, but he's he's never gonna get past a certain level. Like, he's like Cass is like 3 times his size.
At least.
At least. And he's so manly and good looking.
Yes.
Ellsworth is
Charming.
Ellsworth looks like a weird penis man.
Okay.
Like he's a weird, or like like AJ said, he's a foot.
Yeah.
He's like a weird walking foot. He's like, remember in Toy Story 3 when Mr. Potato Head, like,
I haven't seen Toy Story 3. Don't spoil anything.
at one point Mr. Potato
Don't
Head,
spoil it. I just asked you not to spoil
he
it.
ditches his tuber body and attaches all of his bits
You're not listening to me.
to a tortilla.
Please. No spoilers, please. I'd like to enjoy the segment without you spoiling it.
When are you gonna see Toy Story?
You never know. It could
I'm
happen.
sure all anti-Disney with your kids.
No, I'm not anti-Disney. No.
You should watch Toy Story 3 is like one of my favorite movies now.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's really good.
If you stop spoiling things.
Really? It's not that much of it's not a plot device. Breezango took on American
Like
Alpha.
I was saying, I hesitate to even call this a match because it lasted all about 30 seconds and American Alpha destroyed him.
Who would have thought that once they finally got around to packaging Breezango as a serious threat, they're on fire these days. I just retweeted myself because I said that on Twitter. Remember that rumor going around that they were going to repackage Breezango into like a serious threat?
Because Vince was really into him.
That lasted a day. He woke up the next day and was like, Who told you to repackage Breezango?
You guys are fashion police!
He's like, I've got a good idea for your serious repackaging. Fashion police! Like, are we seriously going to take on the Wyatts? Wyatts! No! Idiots!
You're going to hand out tickets! Fashion police!
Oh, man. This match was, what, 2 minutes long?
Not even. It was short.
Who'd they get the pin on? Tyler Breeze?
I think so.
I think it was Tyler Breeze. I don't think Fandango actually got into the match.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he did. It was very fast.
And then the Wyatts showed up on the
Via Titantron.
Titantron.
Boy, they had it easy this week.
And Bray said something like, nothing lasts forever, more or less, right?
Yeah, he said, nothing lasts forever. Next week, we're going to come reclaim what's rightfully ours. And then he walks off, and Randy Orton gets in the camera and says, run. I liked it. I like when he does it. I want him to be, you're right, man.
I know, give it a year.
He needs to be there for a year in the Wyatts, and he needs to aesthetically adapt to their thing. He should be enmeshed into the fabric of the Wyatt family.
I agree.
There should be other members that come and go, but he stays. He's there.
He should be playing the long con.
Yes.
Long game.
Yes.
That's what he should be doing.
Exactly. But it's probably going to be Mania.
He should be doing that to break up the Wyatt family, but also to learn how to harness
powers of the darkness.
Some of the supernatural powers that he's been gaining from Bray.
We need like some training montages of them training him how to do laser beams, eyes, and
teleportation.
Teleportation's the big
telekinesis.
One. That's right, yeah.
All that stuff.
Brother Randy.
And so next we had a segment between
Next week we're gonna
Nikki Bella.
Next week we're gonna hand out fashion tickets. Brother Randy, write me a fashion ticket.
Fashion police.
Listen, Rotunda. You and Bo are gonna be fashion police. Oh man, damn it. You know, I was gonna push your dad to the moon, and then I said, no, you're an IRS agent.
No, he wasn't an IRS agent. He was a personification of the IRS.
That's right, he was IRS. Oh man! Then Nikki and Natalia. Now we're in the black hole of SmackDown.
But this is just one segment, though. It's
I know
5 minutes, and that's the time vampire of
it's
SmackDown.
so cringy though. There was some fire here though, and Nikki was saying because Natalia, who was shooting first? Nikki was saying, Natalia, you're okay, but you get by on
that she's gotten over on her family legacy.
Exactly. And
She's
I'm
a
like,
heart.
I'm like, what family are you talking about? Oh, that's right. And she's like, you know, when you apply the sharpshooter, everybody knows. Everybody just thinks about the guy who made it famous, Sting, in the Scorpion Deathlock, or Conan, because he trained Bret Hart to do that.
Well, no, he taught him how to do it. Reportedly, allegedly, that's what I read.
Viva la raza.
That he taught Bret how to do the sharpshooter.
What else did he say when he came out with the Wolfpack? Orale.
Oh, I don't remember.
Tubula rasa. I don't know. He said something weird. So anyways, then, and then Nikki said, I don't know, you're going to be, she said you're going to die alone. Remember that?
Yeah. She said to Nikki that beauty fades.
Yeah.
And that as you get older, John's going to leave you.
Yeah.
And you're going to die alone.
She said you get by on your looks, and John Cena only likes tautness, like big boobies, tautness. Yeah. So... That was messed up.
What are you doing?
I'm just looking at our numbers on our episode.
We're supposed to be recording a podcast now.
We are recording a podcast.
I know. Why are you...
Keep it moving then. What happened next?
Main event time.
Dean Ambrose versus somebody called The Miz.
Correct.
For the Intercontinental Championship. Hell of a match. And oh my God, thank you, SmackDown. You gave us something unexpected.
A moment.
Dean Ambrose won the Intercontinental Championship in the main event on a SmackDown. That's fantastic.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
Finally giving us moments as well as story.
It's unpredictable. Because here's the thing. When this match started, I keenly remember thinking, Ambrose could totally win this.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Last night on Raw, didn't believe for a second that Jericho was going to win the United States title.
Not in the least.
Why is everything on Raw so damn protected and everything on SmackDown is so damn fluid?
I know. A couple weeks ago, we didn't think that American Alpha would win the tag titles. They did.
It's how you keep a roster that's as small as SmackDown interesting. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you do it. We've seen Baron Corbin versus Ziggler a million times. But what I think when I see them on SmackDown is all these guys have a history, and now they're going to kick it up to the next level.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I've seen this like on Raw. I see this every week.
The thing, too, also is, speaking specifically of the Dolph Baron example, is when their feud began, Baron seemed like a completely different wrestler.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he's grown significantly in the 6 months or so he's been up on the main roster, and it shows.
Yep. Absolutely.
So it's like they're competing essentially for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, main event, good match.
Yeah, fantastic match.
There was some controversy towards the end though.
Good false finishes.
Where Maurice slaps Dean across the face.
Yeah.
Right in front of the ref, and the ref was going to disqualify The Miz because of it in the match. And Dean said, no, please, just kick her out.
Yeah.
Get her out of the ringside area.
Yeah.
And the ref says, okay, I'll do that for
ref.
you.
Way to do your
I'll
job,
do that
ref.
for you. Well, his job is to ring the bell and end the match.
No, I
with
get
DQ.
that, but, it's like in football. You got to let the players play.
Yes. No, I agree with that.
Sometimes judgment calls are necessary.
So, but since there was some controversy to the finish,
yes,
we will most certainly get a rematch.
Yes, we will.
Maybe next week, but probably at the Rumble.
And I have no idea who's going to win that match.
Nope.
No idea.
Nope.
Let's answer some questions.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. By the way, just because we post the questions thread 20 minutes into the show doesn't mean you have to ask your question at that time. You could wait for the show to end because we take a little bit, we set up and stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
First, the real number 1 draft pick, Adam Mayhem.
Roberto Alberto Alomar.
One of fun wrestling's brightest stars.
Yes.
If you were to extend a feud by switching...
Big fish in a small pond, I believe is the term. Go on, read the question.
If you were to extend a feud by switching roles of the wrestlers from babyface to heel and vice versa, which feud would it be?
Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin.
AJ Styles and John Cena.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. Kurt Schwuski. If Cesaro and Sheamus end up breaking up this year, which I think is inevitable, do you see Cesaro ending up on SmackDown? And if so, will he have an Intercontinental reign? No, I do not see that happening.
No.
I think they're one of the highlights of the tag division. I honestly think it's going to be a while before they break up.
Robert Draftmaster Jacone. Hey, friendos. Who do you want to be in the feud of the year for 2017? Will they be able to make a feud as good as Charlotte and Sasha's?
Who do you want to be in the feud for? I'm going to say I want it to be...
I would like it to be Kevin Owens and Finn Balor.
I want it to be AJ Styles versus Bray Wyatt.
That would be good, too.
I've not seen that yet. I want to see that.
Yes.
Matthew Barisic.
During your audience with Vince, he wants to do some cross-promotion.
Yes. Ooh. You guys are fashion police.
You get to call one show on commentary, your choice. In exchange, you get one special guest from each show for its recap. Example, a Raw competitor for the Raw recap. I would suppose a SmackDown competitor for the SmackDown recap. So we're getting a pretty good deal out of this. So we get to call a show,
okay,
and we get a Raw and SmackDown superstar to guest on the respective recaps.
Which show would we call?
205 Live.
I'm thinking NXT.
Yeah, that's good too.
I'm thinking NXT. That'd be a blast.
Yeah, it would.
And people like, who is this guy coming to the ring right now? Must be a Performance Center reject because he's facing off against Bobby Roode, and we know he's not going to win the NXT title. This is obviously after Bobby Roode has won the NXT title. Yeah. And then who do we get? Special guy. I mean, from SmackDown, I want Mojo Rawley.
Yes.
I know we could get Cena. Well, we've interviewed AJ. We don't need AJ anymore.
Oh, I'd be fine with AJ.
I'd be fine with AJ. I'm just saying if we're offered everybody, he's going to be at the bottom of my list because we have a video on AJ Styles already.
I know we do, but also that's something we could talk about.
Man, we never got him to shout out the show. Damn it. What were we thinking? We were so giddy after that interview because we killed it that we didn't get him to shout out the goddamn show. Damn it. The world title. Who do we get from NXT?
He's just asking Raw and SmackDown, but we can say NXT too, I guess.
Who would we get from NXT?
Ty Dillinger.
Oh, God, so boring. Samoa Joe.
Well, I don't think he's going to be in NXT for very long.
Bobby Roode. There's like Eric Young. Hey, guys, how's it going? And his nipples are all like they're angry nipples.
Raw. Braun Strowman.
Yeah, dude, Braun Strowman. I'm with you on that one. Or Jericho. Braun. Hey, guys, how's it going?
Jamie Bencia.
Good to be here, guys.
There have been rumblings of Vince wanting to move AJ Styles back to Raw in the near future. If that's indeed the case, why would Vince prefer AJ on Raw over SmackDown? Is it something as simple as Vince wanting an A-plus player like AJ being on what he probably considers the A-plus show?
Yes,
probably.
You have it exactly correct. That's going to be why. Sabrina Santiago. Santiago! I had the privilege to go to SmackDown Live, and it being my first live event that's not NXT. So my question to you guys is, after seeing the Luchadora from last week costing Becky her match against Alexa, will we see more of this mystery person every week on Tuesday? And will it become another joke that runs its course like Ellsworth?
We will probably see La Luchadora on SmackDown for the next 2 to 4 weeks until La Luchadora is unmasked.
As Mickie James.
Probably.
Has to be.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah.
Rory the Maverick Grace. Hey, friendos, new patron. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rory.
Who has a better slap, Renee Young or Maurice?
Oh, Maurice.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, that thing was on. When you're on par with Cien Almas.
I know.
Andrade Cien Santiago.
Magnum TA champion, Nathan Raglan.
Would you ever want to see Renee wrestle? No. No. I'm good.
Haven Elric.
Unless she has some secret wrestling ability that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, it could be.
Wrestled before, then okay.
Haven Elric. What's the worst current WWE pay-per-view? He says Night of Champions.
The worst current one?
Yeah.
Can you say just straight up what's the worst pay-per-view?
Not really. Depends on the card.
Depends on the card how it's booked.
How well the matches are booked. Yes.
Like, you'd have to it has to happen. First.
I mean, if you just want to consider gimmick pay-per-views like Hell in the Cell, the Rumble.
Well, okay. At his
Money
point,
in the
every
Bank.
pay-per-view usually has all the titles.
Oh,
on
I
the line.
know.
I get that. I would say, in my opinion, probably TLC because every match is a gimmick match.
Yeah, it has to be a gimmick match.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Undisputed champion Marty Too Sweet. Can you go Too Sweet? Come on, man. It's a new year.
No way.
He says, I know this isn't a wrestling question, but what's your favorite DC or Marvel comic of all time? And do you guys watch any CW superhero shows? Do you guys care what we think about non-wrestling stuff? Do you really care about that? Should we do a show? What would it be called?
Well, we tried that before.
No. Now that we have an audience,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
if we did like a weekly vlog type thing where we get asked non-wrestling questions, what would that show be called?
Do you have something in mind?
No.
Okay.
I have nothing in
I
mind.
need to think about it.
Okay, good one.
What's your favorite DC and or Marvel comic of all time? You're the comic book guy between us.
I'm a comic book nerd. What's my favorite? The 1987's Justice League reboot, where it was turned into a comedy series. I think that's absolutely amazing.
Patreon champion Carlos Hackworth.
I don't watch any CW shows.
I don't either. How long do you think it will be before SmackDown has a full roster?
When Samoa Joe and the Revival show up, then it'll be complete. Retired Dwayne Nix. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, what are the chances AJ walks into Mania as WWE champion and also walks out as champion?
2.
Uno.
Yeah.
Yeah. Manuel Garcia de Paredes. Not counting Mojo Rawley, give us a Raw, SmackDown, and NXT superstar for a live sex show 3-way.
So one from each brand. Superstar from each brand.
All right. Raw, I want to see Braun.
Yeah, of course, Braun.
Nia Jax.
No, just one from each brand.
What?
One Raw superstar, one SmackDown superstar, and one NXT superstar.
Oh, okay.
So Braun, yeah.
Braun.
Yeah.
I want to see Braun. I want to see... I can't do Mojo. Let's see Braun. I want to see... From NXT, I want to see Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
And on SmackDown, I want to see La Luchadora.
Okay.
Uno.
Okay.
And then he says, are we getting Ziggler versus Corbin again?
No.
No, I think that was just to spur his heel turn.
Yeah. Alex C., we kind of talked about this a little bit. At a rough estimate, how long do you reckon Corbin needs before he's world title ready?
Survivor Series, baby. Telling you.
It's almost a year.
Telling you.
It's possible. I still think he's going to be in a program but not win it, and then maybe a year after that he'll win it.
You're always so like far off. Not far off. You think that everything's going to last so much longer than it does.
Yeah, I know. Friendo, Block Party World Champion Liam, the Triggered
Oh!
Troglodyte Wagner.
Ooh, Wagner. Boo.
What gimmick matches from other wrestling companies would you like to see be brought in the WWE?
The Gift of the Gods.
Yes.
I like that as a title, not a
Yes.
briefcase.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Aztec Warfare is cool.
Which one's that?
It's
like a
battle royal,
Yeah.
but you can win by pinning or submitting your opponents.
Oh.
It's not an over the top rope battle royal.
Gotcha. Okay. That's
It's cool.
Neat. Hamza Halal. What are, in your opinions, the 5 ugliest wrestling shirts
The club.
or merchandise? Yeah, the club. I have a video that I made where I redesigned it, but it just kind of looks like the Dirt Sheet logo, so I just didn't do it. I didn't go with it. The club. Who else is bad? Randy Orton's never had good. He's always had he's the most tribal tattoo wrestler there is.
Yeah, the one they put out recently just had RKO in the front,
So ugly.
but it was still
so
it's
plain.
Probably
dude.
the best of what he's had recently.
I don't know, man. I'd rather have one of them ones that look like you got out of Kmart. You know? It's
Yeah,
like-
no, I know.
Yeah.
But those are always too overdone.
The Wyatts have really cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
Look like you can get that stuff at Hot Topic. It's cool stuff. I'm good.
Cena's stuff is hit or miss. Lately, it's been more miss. But like when he had the AWA logo style shirt, that was neat.
Cool,
Or
yeah.
the Nintendo one.
Nintendo one
that
was cool. Yeah.
DJ Bryson. Hey, friendos, the dog here.
Interesting.
If one of you were a superhero and the other was a supervillain, what would your powers be, and what current WWE superstars would be your sidekicks?
Well, let's say I'm the hero and you're the villain.
Okay.
All right. If I was a hero, what would my power be?
What would your power be?
You choose mine, I'll choose yours.
I think you'd be able to control the weather.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that. What would I do with that?
Use it for superhero things.
For good things.
Good things.
For good things.
What would my power be?
You would fat shame people into the negative zone, into the fat shame zone. That's what you would do.
I'm like, jerk. I don't do that.
You judge people to death.
Who would your wrestling sidekick be?
My microphone screen smells. What?
Your wrestler's sidekick. Who would it be?
My dog.
No, wrestler's sidekick.
Oh, okay. I wrestle my dog sometimes. It would be. I control the weather.
Yeah. You control the weather.
My sidekick would be John Cena, it's weird because he doesn't really seem like a sidekick guy, but he actually is. He's my sidekick.
Okay.
That's why we look like each other.
So wait, what's my power again?
Oh, I need to give you an actual superpower. Your superpower is this. You are invisible.
Okay.
You can be invisible, but here's the thing. When you're invisible, you can only speak in a whisper.
Okay.
Your voice comes out in a
Well,
whisper.
then my sidekick would be Mojo Rawley because he is invisible too.
Hey, don't you see him? He's right here. He's the guy who just calls you out.
There you go.
He tells people where you are.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, weird answers to a weird question. 16-time Going in Raw Network champion Alp. This is a really long question. I'm going to try to. Let's see here. New patron here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
AJ Benzakin. Thank you. I'm going to speed read this. Happy New Year. I'm a 13-year-old avid pro wrestling fan. I've been watching you guys for almost a year. It was my late Christmas present to pledge, and I'm finally going to join the Patreon community. Thank you
very much.
His question is, after watching SmackDown, it looks like they might be going forward with the Baron Corbin-John Cena feud after the Rumble. Undertaker is scheduled for Raw next week, so what's happening with Cena for Mania? Will he face Corbin or Taker? It looks like, and if he loses the Rumble, who will AJ face at Mania? I think it's going to be AJ. I think it's going to be this, dude. I think Orton Wyatt is going to be put off till SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to get AJ Orton at
Mania?
Mania.
Okay.
That's what I think.
So you think AJ is going to have a face turn?
Because they never have Wyatt do anything at WrestleMania.
That's true.
So whether or not that's an AJ face turn, I don't know. I guess maybe.
Terrence Thompson, what are you doing?
Read the question.
Terrence Thompson. The only thing in Terrence Thompson's opinion is holding SmackDown back with a lack of star power.
Yeah.
The catch is you can't just plug in random stars in the show. He thinks Rollins is 100% the missing link. Rollins should go to SmackDown.
I think Rollins or Reigns should go to SmackDown. Yeah, for sure. Troy Inman, building on my question from yesterday, who are 3 wrestlers you want to see appear in the Rumble and stay for an extended run? So before he said, who would you want as a one-off?
Yeah.
So
you want Joe.
You want I want Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle.
Yes.
And Ty Dillinger.
Sure.
Yeah.
Although I want Ty to stay in NXT so he wins the title, so I get that prediction right.
Yeah, that was a good prediction.
It was a good prediction. Joshua the Dynamic Knight Martinez. So since Taker is going to be at Raw, could this mean no Cena versus Taker at Mania? If so, could Styles retain at the Rumble? Would you give Styles the title of the guy Cena never beat?
No, that will never happen. Cena will definitely beat AJ Styles.
And he will face The Undertaker. Undertaker's above brand, apparently.
Yes, he is. Exactly. Let's see here. I'm going to skip through a couple because I sort of feel like we did that already. Let's see here. I like this question. Biscuit Jones, what change would you bring from your experience in cinematography to SmackDown Live to not only bring more new viewers in, but improve the viewing enjoyment of current viewers?
Get rid of the crane.
I would make it all the bad VHS filter from
WWE 2K17.
That's what I'm bringing to W Steve W. Bad VHS filter for everything. I would do that. I would bring back the giant fist, but I'd make it like yellow and black themed.
Yes.
SmackDown.
So you just want to turn SmackDown to W Steve W.
Obviously.
I just want to get rid of the crane. It doesn't bug me as much as it did at first. Make it look cinematic.
Yeah.
Color time it so it's a little more.
Film it in IMAX.
There you go. 70 millimeter.
70 millimeter.
Yeah.
That's great.
Like you need a minimum 70 inch television to enjoy it. Minimum.
Exactly.
Ultra 4K HD.
I think that's great. But how about this? Everybody wear green screen suits and then just like animate their characters. Have them all mocap themselves.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Here's a good question. Alex K.
Make John Cena 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
Giant Cena.
Alex K657. Hey, friendos. In an interview a while back, Batista expressed an interest in returning to WWE as a heel, even if he were just there to put younger guys over or work house shows. Bearing this in mind, say he returns at the Rumble, who do you think could benefit most from a feud with the Animal? That's a good question. So, heel Batista coming to work with younger talent and in the end putting them over. Who would benefit the most?
Earl Smothers.
That's not a real wrestler.
Oh, that's in Steve W. Who would benefit most from working with Batista? A young guy like Randy Orton, perhaps.
Randy's not that young.
Okay.
Ty Dillinger.
Stop saying Ty Dillinger for everything. Mojo. I'm trying to think of a young...
Baron Corbin.
I mean, Sami Zayn, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Sami would be good.
Zayn.
Yeah, that's a good
You can
answer.
plug Sami Zayn in there. Let's see here. Joey Carranza. If you could book a great drawn-out face versus face or heel versus heel with the current rosters, who would they be and what's the story? Face versus face. We'll each pick a face versus face and a heel versus heel.
Matchup we want to see?
Yeah.
Face versus face.
I'd want to see face versus face. I'd want to see Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns for the U.S. Championship.
Okay.
That's what I'd want to see.
Okay. I would like to see...
Yeah, I know. My house makes weird noises, too.
Face versus face. I want to see Ty Dillinger
Oh, God damn it.
versus Finn Balor.
Really? That's a weird pair. I'd want to see, face versus face. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Finn Balor.
Okay.
Boom. Book it. There you
Okay.
go. Perfect.
Heel versus heel.
Heel versus heel.
AJ versus Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, that was my answer, too. Good job. Let's see here. No, I'd want to see Samoa Joe versus... Who's a good heel? I'd say Samoa Joe versus Bray Wyatt. That'd be badass.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Rex Robinson. Last week, WWE posted a video on YouTube called 7 Things You Want to See in 2017. In that video, they pointed out that John Cena has never held the Intercontinental title or even challenged for it. Could you see Cena holding the Intercontinental title in the near future or before his time in the WWE is up? Probably not.
I would say no, but you never say never, especially he held the U.S. title. So I don't think, I'll put it this way. I don't think Cena will ever care about holding the IC title. I don't think Vince ever cares about him holding the IC title. I don't think it's a thing. But if there's somebody interesting enough that's holding the IC title on a depleted SmackDown roster, it's always a possibility. Let's see here. Here we go. All right. How about we end on this one?
Okay.
The world champion Jacob, the broken world champion Jacob Omega.
Okay.
Hey, friendos, what advice would you give to somebody wanting to start their own wrestling podcast? How did you guys get started? We took a really long road to get here.
Yeah, we used to do a wrestling podcast called Tree of Woe, just kind of for fun, a long time ago.
As some of you might know, like if you look back on our channel, we did gaming stuff. We still have a show on Machinima called 10 for the Win. But we only transitioned into full-time wrestling stuff back in March. Of this last year, so not even a year.
Yeah.
And it just became like a big thing for us. But so we had already kind of had an established audience. We sort of cheated because we already had like an established audience.
Yeah.
And we would always insert sort of wrestling in jokes into our programming. And so a lot of people sort of caught on to the fact that we were into that stuff. And then the wrestling YouTube landscape has a lot of cool stuff, but it's nowhere near as saturated as the gaming landscape. Yes. And so we started doing this podcast with Dan.
It was just monthly at first after pay-per-views.
After pay-per-views, and then you and I decided to take it weekly. And then when we started the Patreon was kind of funny because it was like, okay, well, let's start this Patreon, see if we can really make a thing out of this wrestling thing. But we were like, well, should we do a Patreon to do like our channel as a gaming channel or as a separate wrestling channel?
At
or
first, it was all inclusive, and then we were like, well, should we do 2?
Yeah.
And then eventually we just decided, no, let's just focus on this one thing.
Well, the funny thing is when I remember this vividly. When I texted you that we should do the wrestling. We should just focus on wrestling. We should just say, fuck it, we'll go all in on wrestling because the gaming thing isn't really like our strong suit. It was only because I couldn't figure out like some solid graphics for how to present the gaming thing. I was like, well, I have a real strong sense on what I want to do with Going in Raw, but I'm not sure what we're even doing on the gaming side of things. So why don't we just do this? Because I know like the graphics had focus.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we'll just do we'll focus in on this.
Yeah.
And then I texted you and you said, I already had that idea. I was like, okay, cool.
No, I thought we talked about it even before that though.
We talked about it as a possibility.
Yeah.
But I was going along the lines of us doing, because we had like, remember we had like reward tiers that were stacked. It was gaming, wrestling, wrestling. And so I was working on that stuff, and then I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I remember texting you saying, let's just focus on wrestling. Let's just go in on that. And you said, yeah, I had the same idea.
Yeah.
That's how I remember it. It could be complete. My memory's usually for shit anyways.
Yeah, mine's not very good either.
As far as like advice we can give you for getting into wrestling podcasts, I don't know. What would you suggest? Because, like I said, we had a very unique route.
Yes.
We took a very, very scenic path.
But then also, we also had the benefit of having kind of an audience already, to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm. I guess just I would say
do it if it's something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
If you enjoy talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that will translate to your audience.
Right.
And then, just learn how to YouTube pretty much.
Just do it on a regular basis.
Be consistent.
That we sort of have given this talk before to like various groups of people in various situations, and they ask, how do you do the YouTube thing? And it's how many C's do we have?
3 C's.
3 C's?
There was competency, consistency, and community.
That's
Those
right.
were the 3 C's.
So you gotta have you gotta get a mic of some sort. I have a blue snowball over there. It costs like $90.
Yeah,
and you could just use.
Yeah,
that.
That's how we started.
That's how we
on
started.
The snowballs.
So you can get that. Make sure.
So it sounds decent. You don't have to be like a professional podcast per se, but it should sound decent.
It should sound good, and you can sound good for cheap these days.
Yeah, consistency. That means consistency in terms of production quality, but also in terms of release schedule.
Exactly.
And the community.
Yeah, and the community
is pretty
is
self-explanatory.
Is building community. Like we're pretty good. Like if you guys do something out there, if we take a look at it, and you're not like spouting off on weird, fucked up, offensive shit. We'll retweet you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's you just try to find an audience, man. What's up? My hair fucked up?
It's got a super curl thing going right there.
I'm going to get a haircut tomorrow. I need to get a haircut.
You should keep the length on top, though.
No, I know. I'm keeping the length on top
Good.
because it makes. Have you noticed I have not bitched about my hair?
Yeah.
In a little while, it's because I've been keeping my length of my top.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
It covers my baldness.
Yeah.
And I look back on some of those old videos of ours when I was like long hair. I can't do that.
No?
I can't do it anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore.
Why not?
It only looks good under a hat.
Oh, okay.
And the hats are like it's going to be summer in 5 months, 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do
Well,
that.
that's a good time to wear a hat. Keep the sun out of your face.
My hair doesn't instantly grow long, though.
You got 5 months. If you don't cut it for 5 months, it'll
By
be
the
long.
time it's at a length that I like it, it will be summertime. It
That's what I'm
takes
saying.
5 months. I know, but then I have to cut it short. Why am I even going to bother?
Why?
Look, I don't bitch about my hair right now when it's short. You should just be appreciative of that
Well,
fact.
I never really minded it when you
Do you want a sticker?
Sure. I never really minded when you bitched about your hair, period.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Pick a card, man. We're starting the year off fresh after my decisive victory over you on trivia.
I'm going to bring my board game over.
I know. I meant to remind you to do that.
Had that one.
Okay.
You sure this isn't the pile of ones we already
Hold on, let me check this
done?
real quick. Okay. Wait a second. Maybe not.
We have not had this one. But these are all pretty.
I don't think we've had this one before. Yeah, we have not had this one before. Okay.
We haven't had this one either.
Okay, cool.
I'll ask first.
You ask first.
How many times has Edge defeated Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship?
Once.
2,
Oh, what?
3, or 4? You said once. So that's your answer.
No, you gave me. You didn't finish the question.
2, 3, or 4?
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Some bullshit.
Baby.
Bullshit.
Just put up a finger, dude. Which superstar had flames tattooed on the top of his head?
As a Bam Bam Bigelow.
It is Bam Bam Bigelow. I was hoping maybe somebody else.
Who was the longest reigning WWE champion of all time? Put a finger up.
Bruno Sammartino.
Yep.
Name the diva who won the women's title in 2003 during her first WWE match, a Battle Royal on Raw.
2003? Mm-hmm. Victoria.
Gail Kim.
Oh, yeah. I actually remember that.
Yeah.
True or false, Shawn Michaels was in the WWE's first ever casket match.
I'm going to say false.
Yep. It was
Who was it?
Undertaker and Kamala.
Oh, okay. What was the... which superstar made a guest appearance as a wrestler on The X-Files?
Kane.
No. Make a motion with your hand towards your head several times.
That's Rob Van Dam. What foreign object did Jimmy Hart use to help the Nasty Boys defeat the Hart Foundation at WrestleMania 7?
His megaphone?
Helmet.
His megaphone.
Helmet.
What was the name of the faction comprised of Just Incredible, Albert, and X-Pac?
Just Incredible, Albert, and X-Pac.
I knew this when I saw it, but I would not have gotten it.
Well, the Impact players was Just Incredible and Lance Storm.
That is correct.
I don't remember that faction.
It's a very underwhelming name.
The Heat Magnets.
X Factor.
Oh, that's terrible.
It is, I know.
Hold up a finger. The Great Muta and Tajiri used what particular technique to blind opponents?
Green Mist.
Yeah.
All right. Man, I got 4 so far. Who was the first superstar in WWE history to win the Royal Rumble from the number 30 spot?
Hogan.
Undertaker.
Damn, I almost said Undertaker too.
Undertaker.
You might do it again this year. Well, I got skunked.
Man.
Well, I got one.
You got one, so I get...
You get 3 cards.
3 whole cards. Woo! Steve is the best. Steve is the best in the West. He's the best. I'm going to keep my cards this time.
Good idea.
I'm just going to pick these 3 in the middle of the pack.
I need to return my cards from previously.
Are you
They're at
excited? Are you excited about the Friendo draft happening last night?
Yeah.
You want to know what I got?
Sure.
I got Escape Power Move.
I thought you had that already.
Well, this is a new year. So
Oh,
I get the
okay.
cards over again. Call out. It's Triple H calling somebody out. Get out of here. I'm going to bury you. I'm going to bury you. I'm going to bury you. And I got Double Demolition. Use this card during a match to injure yourself and your opponent.
You got that last time too.
Well, can I choose different ones then?
No.
No?
No way, man.
Just want to look at what I have. Oh, can I have Kenzo Suzuki?
Sure, just put one of the other ones back.
Okay, I'm going to put Double Demolition away.
Okay. You weren't a fan of double demolition.
I
huh?
was not. Hold on, what else is there? Oh, this is the worst one. I don't want a non-title match. I do, however, want Ric Flair calling somebody out. Fire me, you can't fire me.
Fire me, you already fired me.
Look at how purple.
Fire me, you can't
He's
fire
so
me.
purple.
His face is almost the same color as his shirt.
So purple. That's ridiculous. Anyways, man, that was a shellacking you got there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Nothing. Me and Kenzo Suzuki are going to watch Wrestle Kingdom tonight. That name sounds familiar. Hold on. I got to check this now. Before we go, I got to check. Kenzo Suzuki. Wrestler.
Excuse me.
Let's see here. Is he retired or still around? He's 42. Oh, he's with All Japan right now.
Oh,
Interesting.
that's neat.
Interesting. Anyways, learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyways, want to say thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank you very
Until
much.
Next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.